Well, howdy, hey, welcome back to Pacific Northwest Gold Rushers. I'm Jeff, amateur prospector, and this is Gold Rush 23. Okay, it's Saturday. I actually was going to wait a little bit because it was supposed to be hot. But what we got is a very large fire up on the North Cascade Highway that actually shut down the highway now. But for the first time until now, we've been lucky. The smoke was staying there east. Not good for them, good for us. But it's starting to work its way down. There's a mountain, we call it Sock Mountain. Shows a really defined line. I did stop and take a picture of that. Let me show you that. So as you can see, it's kind of a cool picture. There's a straight line and all that. But it's not quite down here yet, but it is keeping the heat out. So instead of waiting until the sun goes over the trees, I decided I'm going to get down here. My goal is today, truthfully, because it's cooler. There's a very, very, very mild breeze. I mean, it's mild, but the temperature is cooler. I got my hydration station set up, of course. I brought everything I need and some extra buckets. So to me, I'm not even going to set up until, one, I test pan and find a place. Two, I'm going to try to classify 6 buckets before I even set up. That way I can't cop out and say, oh, I'm done, you know. But I do want to move some dirt, and this is the reason why I didn't do it last week, but that's because my family was home. But this week they're not. So if I can put in a full day today and get, I'm going to be optimistic here, I never do it, but I'm going to try to actually hit my goal, is if I classify 6 buckets and the pay dirt is still there and accessible, and then do another 6, that's 12 buckets. I personally have never done that much in this type of the gravels that I'm digging in because there's so much rock. But if I can do that, my goal is to take it all home in a bucket and then run it again in my Bigfoot sluice with the Dream Mat. Everybody talks about the Dream Mat, can do everything, and let me show you something. So this is my mighty Keene wash plant, made by Keene Engineering. But it does have the expanded steel on top of smaller riffle mats, and it goes into this mat. And the smaller stuff under here is actually the same stuff as this. So what I want to see is, will that Dream Mat catch everything that this mighty Keene wash plant catches? So I'm going to run it with my, what's that called? A power head that I got. Then I'm going to switch that mat out, get all the small rocks out and everything. Then I'm going to put my sawtooth in that and run it again. And I don't know, I just figured it'd be a good test to see if that Dream Mat really can catch these micro dots that this mighty Keene wash plant can. So, I got my excavator and my ripper. All I have to do now is find some gold. Let's get to it. Gold Rush 23. Alrighty. Well, I opened up a larger area today between that big boulder, and then there's a bigger boulder here. But, you know, with the grass growing there and everything, and there was a few other roots, I knew that nobody dug there immediately. I haven't got into that seam yet, but I am down into some clay. I have not tested this top stuff, but we don't know. So I got a classifier. Let's go see if I got a nug. And by the way, that sun is making its way through that smoke. It's warm, but let's test this out. Gold Rush 23. Okay, well, I got that down. Not a great pan, but that was just under the top layer. So, but I got 2 flakes, 1 small flake and 1 micro dot. But there was a lot of black sand, a lot of garnets. So I don't know yet. I got to think about it. I'm going to have me a little bit of water, and definitely not going to run buckets with only 2 flakes of pan. But if I go down a little bit further, maybe. The hard part is, I forgot to mention, I was prying a rock out and I heard my shovel start to crack. So I have to be careful with that today. But I'm going to probably go down like another 6 to 8 inches or so. I do not want another 3 to 3.5 foot deep hole, but right now the flakes that I'm seeing look like replenishing gold, so it's possible that place was already dug. So that's why I want to go do one more test. So let me take a small break and do another test. Back in a bit. Well, out here, just an update. Well, as I was sitting there contemplating this hole on whether I should go deeper, move, whatever, your typical stuff that you know, 2 flakes, that sucked. But you can barely see him now. That's Steve. He came down the hill. I heard him park, and he looks over at me and goes, "You must be Jeff." I was like, "Yeah." So we introduced each other, and I showed him the bar and up and down. Kind of, he's just getting into it. He watches my videos, and he's down here now. He's actually testing his tailings that he took home to practice with. But I kind of showed him how the bar is and everything. Super great guy. He just retired recently, so he's really jumping into it. He's prospecting different creeks and stuff. And I told him, "Hey, buddy, you're always welcome." And right now, he's not really looking for new stuff. He just wants to check his work. And he's just like me. He wants to get out there and enjoy himself. That being said, we talked for about a half an hour, 45 minutes. So anyway, so I came back to here. And that first test pan was right here, down in here. But I saw this. I told you I saw these boulders. So I got down into this, and there's another rock right here. But I've been got to be really careful with my toe. There's definitely some compressed rock in there. But look at all that clay. Now, I don't think the gold actually in the clay, but look how it's not very thick. So what I did, so I am happy. I at least can see. I try not to overfill because I want apples for apples. I went ahead and filled up my classifier one more time. That one's going to have a nug. Gold Rush 23. Let's see. Alrighty. I finished that second pan. And much better. I counted, there's about 14 flakes in there. But there is 1 nug. And a really nice sized garnet. Let me show you. So there's that garnet. Oops, sorry about that. Look at that nug. So as you can see, a much better pan. So unlike that one time where it was good that I moved, I'm glad I didn't this time. And it definitely confirms that the clay is a trick in this particular spot. So I can run some buckets with that. How many? I don't know. I don't know because this stuff seems to go and then just stop. So, like all my plans, this one's probably going to fall through, but we're going to start classifying buckets after a short little break. See what we can get. Gold Rush 23. Alrighty. So, number one. But, yeah, it's a good thing. I went ahead and I took all the stuff I picked on the upper layer. I went ahead and classified that. And now I'm down into some stuff here. That's the good stuff. So now my problem is I got to get this rock, this rock, this rock, this rock, this rock, and keep working around this rock. My goal is to get that rock out. There's another rock here and another rock here. Basically, there was rocks everywhere. But Steve's still over there. He was testing his tailings from the sluice setup at home. Now he went and got the big excavator and he's looking for them nugs. On to bucket number 2, Gold Rush 23. Alrighty, just an update. 2. Still prying rocks out. There's my gravels. Look how silty the classifying is. Okay, as you can see, I got down in there. I got those rocks I told you out there. I'm still working my way around here. Looks like I got a couple rocks there. Of course, that one. Boy, I do need a water break. Steve's still going at it. I'm going to try. Let's see, I got 2, 4, 6, got 8 buckets, so see if I had my Keene set up already, I'd probably already wimp out, and I'm not wimping out. Today I'm gonna get at least 6, maybe 8. I think I can get the dirt. I think I have between these 2 rocks, that would probably be about close to a bucket. See, that's the problem though, guys. Okay, that hole is probably, let's say, 3.5 feet by 3.5, somewhere around 3 by 3, but it's deep. It's probably almost 3 feet deep. So the problem is you don't get any pay gravel. It's all rock. I haven't tested anything since that pan, but from my experience, this looks like the good stuff that I was on that one time where I ran 4 buckets and had a good clean out. So because I said that, I'm going for 8 buckets today. I can do it. I need water though. Back in a bit. Alrighty, just an update. 3. I don't know, guys. My problem is I broke my excavator. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's one of those like fiberglass reinforced ones or whatever, and it's split. So I can't even really twist my shovel too much. But I'm definitely going to get at least 1 more bucket, maybe 2. Because what I'm trying to do, and this is where I've learned in the past, is when you got big rocks like this, and you can see I'm still going. I'm going to go until that excavator breaks. But I'm still prying rocks out of here. I'm trying to clear and mop up everything I can. I can't even throw water on here and then just keep mopping up the bottom, because what I can do is clear up the top and I can just roll those into the hole. That way I don't need to try to lift them out of the hole, because those are a couple 100 pounds a piece. So, but the good news is with that clay in there, you see how it's all packed up in there? Those haven't been moved in a very, very, very long time. So this should be good. I'm not giving up on it. I'm going to go as long as I can go, and as long as my girl excavator here will hold up. I'm trying to be gentle with her and do most of the rock moving with my, I was going to say, my pick. I was going to say Pulaski. Anywho, so Steve got hooked. He went down and he found a really good spot. It was right near the Pander's Pit, and you guys know that was a good spot. But he wasn't jumping on anything. He found it. He rolled a rock, did a test pan, and then he did a second test pan down, kind of like the area I am, underneath these rocks that look good with a little bit of clay in it. And he had a really good pan. Now, he is camera shy, so I can't really do a close-up to you with Steve. But what he's going to do now is, well, he already said, well, maybe I'll stay a little longer. So he's going to classify up a bucket. He actually really is underestimating his panning. Excuse me. Because he had it panned all the way down to the black sand, and he had a couple nugs in there and a lot of snare and a lot of stars. It was a really good pan. And I told him, I said, dude, man, that's a time to move dirt pan. You know, I might do another pan just to make sure it wasn't a fluke, but that's a move dirt pan. So he's moving dirt. It's funny. We have a lot of things alike, but he is camera shy. He doesn't even want any close-ups or anything like that. So I'll respect that. So I need to take me a little bit of a break. I think all this I moved. So I'll keep mopping this up, and probably by the time I finish that bucket off, I might be able to roll one of these boulders. I don't know. We'll see. The bad news is, look where I put the stupid rock piles. Right where I need to go. So that happens so often. I'm thinking, oh, hopefully it's gonna go this way, and then it goes right for the stuff I already, like it's going right for it. So I actually did start changing and throwing my rocks over here. They're the big ones. I can move them, and I can not have to move my gravels. But it happens so often. So, anywho, I got 3 buckets done. I'm gonna head up to the hydration station. I might even have to have me a Blue Mountain. Back in a bit. Alrighty, just an update. Well, I was able to pry and roll that big boy out of there. When I flipped it over, I took some water and rinsed it off, and then tumbled it again. But you can see there's that clay. So it was sitting right on that clay. So that freed up some space. I had to, of course, move my gravels back and my rocks back. So now I got to get that one out. And then I'm sure there's going to be rocks underneath it. Hopefully that's some good stuff. Just letting you know. That was heavy. Back in a bit. Howdy, hey, just an update. 4. Okay, so of course more rock. I got that one out, and I was able to pry that one under here over. I'll kind of clean up that as best I can, and then the next one, if I can, I don't know. I'm worried about moving that one because it might landslide in. But we're set up for number 5. Hopefully my excavator holds out. She's getting wobbly, and my back's getting tired. We'll see. Still looks good though. Steve's still over there grinding away. Looks like he's reclamating. I need a break. Go rest 23. Alrighty, just an update. I'm done. I just looked at the time. I knew I was getting there. My back is just sore. And I only ended up getting about 4 1/4 or 1/3 buckets. It's starting to cave in. I've got a lot of reclamating to do. That excavator's ready to snap in two. And I still have to set up the recirc and run those. And I can only do 2 buckets at a time anyway per run because of how much black sand. So I'm going to take me a small break. It's really muggy right now. No breeze. Steve went home. So I'm going to take me a small little break. Get my recirc set up. Get these run. Get home and hopefully have some nugs. Gold Rush 23. Fill them holes. As you can see, I'm done. I got everything starting to pack up. Some people are starting to show up, but I did get the hole reclamated. Got my cons. Just got to finish packing up, and we'll get home. Gold Rush 23. Righty, hey. It's the next day, and I'm getting things set up here. I got my cons from yesterday. I do got the gold wheel ready to go. But here's my sluice. It's got the dream mat. I installed this. Got my power head. Now I just need to get some water. I was playing with the idea of go ahead and getting all the rocks out of that. But then that wouldn't be apples to apples. I mean, my Keene ran it and caught it, even with those tiny little rocks in there. It is classified. Supposedly, the Dream Mat does the same thing. So, this is more just for fun. Gold ain't going anywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run all that through that. And then I'm going to take the tailings. Then I'm going to screen it down. And I'm going to run it through my gold wheel. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to clean out the sluice and put that in a separate one and clean that out. I want to see how much it loses and or doesn't lose anything. Let's find out. It's muggy this morning. Gold Rush 23. Alrighty. I put all my cons in my pan. Still has the small gravels in it. I think I might have put a little bit too much jet dry in there. The one thing about this power head, it leaks like a sieve, you know, where it connects. But, oh, just take it and dump it. Let's see what we do, or how it does. Back in a bit. Like my scoop. The only thing is, I put so much jet dry in, I can't even see if everything's working right. Which I guess, technically, I probably shouldn't have done, because I don't have jet dry when I'm running the Keene. So, let me finish this up. Alrighty, I got it all ran. Let's see if we see anything. Oh, there's gold. But that's the sawtooth. Oh, there's gold there. There's gold there. Alrighty, so now I'm going to take what's in the bucket and I'm going to go ahead and screen that down and run it through the gold wheel. And after I get that in the pan, I'm going to clean this up. There's definitely gold. Some of those are, well, again, that's the sawtooth. That don't count. This is what I'm really interested in. Wow, it's hot today. I'm sweating just sitting here. Let's see what it does. Back in a bit. Alrighty then. So I got it all cleaned up. I will tell you, because I've never done beach mining. I bought that sawtooth to play around with some of the river beach sands and stuff. But that's a pain in the butt. That grabs onto the gold and doesn't want to let it go. But I got it all cleaned up. Took several splashes just to get it. So now I know why you guys like that sawtooth. But I got everything drying out. Here's the cons from what the Dream Mat did not catch. This is what went into the bucket. Already got the bigs out of it. And here's the cleanup from the Dream Mat. So let's fire that girl up. We'll clean that one first. And then we'll get this down and clean that one second. This is the one, if the Dream Mat's working properly, there should be nothing in there. And if there is, just maybe a few specks or two. Because I know no sluice is 100%. Let's find out. Alrighty, just an update. So, I got all the tailings that the Dream Mat did not catch in. And again, I have this set very low, so every microdot can make it up. So I am going to have a lot of black sand still. And then I used my kitchen tight strainer device, as per Flower Gold Wizard says. Separate the bigs, which I will pan out because I want to see if I have any real nubs. And so that is what was in the sluice. So once I let the gold wheel finish what it's doing, we'll switch it up and run what I ran in the Dream Mat. The world may never know. Back in a bit. Well, alrighty. I finished up panning out the tailings from the Dream Mat. Unfortunately, my battery ran out. It's one of those new 100 amp lithium batteries or whatever, but I used it last weekend and I used it this weekend, so yeah, it's going to take a little bit to charge that. I don't need to get it fully charged. But the good news is six tiny flakes / microdots. So either I lost it in the gold wheel, which I doubt because I had a lot of black sand in that cup, or the Dream Mat did it. Now we got to get that cleaned up and ran. Back in a bit. Well, howdy hey. All right, I got everything done. And pretty impressed with the Dream Mat. It caught some tiny flakes. I am not impressed with how much I got. A lot of work. The gold I got is very small. I'm hesitant to even say there's a nug. So obviously I was not on it. So it was a lot of work. Busted my excavator. But it all adds up. It'll go in with everything else, and let me show you. So, not the greatest, but not the worst. That was some hard digging yesterday. I'm really surprised. I truly am. That gravel looks so good. But then again, that's what happens. I know technically everybody should, even in the middle of a run, test. But no. Not when I have gravels that look really good. So my guess is I hit a spot that was already hit. It may not have been hit this year, last year, year before, or whatever. That size of gold tells me it's replenished. It's replenished gold, and probably most of it came from that clay layer. So a lot of work. What really upsets me is I broke my excavator. That sucks. But it's still not the worst I've ever had. I've done a lot worse. So for basically 4.5 buckets, it's not horrible, but I may have tapped that spot out. I thought I was on it and I wasn't. But again, I got a good workout. It definitely looked like it was going to be better, but it's not. The other thing is, there's some exciting news for you guys in my channel. Let me show you. That's right. My gold wheel con bucket or bin or whatever is almost full. You know what that means? It's going to be Blue Bowl Day someday. Actually, I do show it, but I just have a hard time throwing it away, and I like to test what I'm doing anyway. So yeah, it's getting full. I'm going to need a day to just set up my blue bowl and spend 6 to 8 hours watching water spin and see if I have any nugs in there. So anyway, I gained a few more subscribers this week. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It was a good day. It actually was a good day. Got to meet a new guy, Steve. He's a little camera shy. We'll break him of that. So I don't know. You know, we all want more. Let's just say that. We all want more gold. But it is what it is. It wasn't horrible, but it was slightly disappointing because I really thought that was going to be a good payout. I thought that was going to be a good one. So we all hit and miss. So thanks again for all your comments and your thumbs ups. If you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And until next week, you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a wonderful week. See you next time. Gold Rush 23.